In just a few decades, South Korea rose from the ruins of the Korean War to become the 13th largest economy in the world. This jump from post war poverty to global prosperity was called the miracle on the Han River. In short, they enjoyed what was called the Korean dream. But today, that dream feels like it's slipping away. The country is facing a demographic crisis. Its population is shrinking. The birth rate hit 0.72 in 2023, which is the lowest in the world. This figure is drastically below the 2.1 needed to maintain a stable population. As a result, schools are closing and villages are emptying. Its working age population, which constitutes people between the ages of 15 to 64, is also in steep decline. The situation is serious and impossible to ignore, as the country is now facing a demographic onus, which means fewer workers are available to support the economy. By 2070, only 46.1% of the population will be of working age, the lowest share among all OECD countries. To solve the dilemma of labor shortage, the government and big business groups have turned to AI. A major report from the Bank of Korea even said that using AI more widely could increase the country's GDP by up to 12.6%. This could help offset the economic slowdown caused by a shrinking workforce. The push for AI is also driven by South Korea's global geoeconomic and geopolitical fears. After recovering from the devastation of the war, the country became a major economic power. Now, South Korea fears slowing down and getting outpaced by rivals such as China. Because of this, the entire government is working together with a strong sense of urgency. Their goal is to make South Korea a global leader in AI. It passed the National Strategy for Artificial Intelligence in 2019. The goal of this plan is to make South Korea a top 3 digitally competitive nation by 2030. This was followed by the AI Basic Act. This is the world's first national law that promotes the growth of AI and simultaneously regulates it. Following the act, the government has established an AI Policy Center, an AI Research Institute, and a National AI Commission. In February this year, President Choi Song-mok announced more developments in AI. He gave a bold plan of investing over $700 million in AI and robotics. He wants to create a Korean version of ChatGPT. Conglomerates such as chaebols like Samsung, Hyundai, LG, SK Group, and others are also leading the country's move into AI. They see it as key to staying on top globally in industries like tech, cars, and semiconductors. These companies are investing billions in highly automated dark factories that run with little to no human help. Because these chaebols are so powerful, AI is spreading fast across the country. But it is mostly confined to these large corporations. Smaller and medium-sized enterprises, which employ the vast majority of the middle class, are being left behind. This can lead to polarization of society with a small, well-paid AI elite inside big companies, and the majority of workers struggling in the small and medium-sized enterprises. AI and automation are increasingly taking over simple repetitive tasks. This is common in roles such as market research, tech support, data entry, and content planning. These technologies are effectively wiping out these entry-level jobs. Traditionally, these roles helped new graduates get their start. Now that first step on the career ladder is disappearing for many young job seekers. Because of this, companies in South Korea are changing how they hire. Instead of regular public job openings, many companies now hire only when needed. They mostly want experienced workers who can use AI tools. This trend is especially strong in tech areas like Pyeonggi, the Silicon Valley of South Korea. Over there, companies are focusing more on mid-career talent. In this way, AI is not taking jobs, but somebody who knows how to use it is. This is a serious threat to Korea's future. When entry-level jobs disappear, young people miss the chance to gain experience. They can't grow into the skilled workers companies will need later. It creates a cycle. Young people can't get jobs because they lack experience, and they can't get experience because there are no jobs. In the short term, this causes frustration and hopelessness. In the long term, it could create a lost generation of talent. Ironically, this might hurt the progress and innovation AI was meant to bring. This comes at a time when already over 500,000 young South Koreans are currently classified as not in employment, education, or training. That puts South Korea near the top, third out of 11 OECD countries, and well above the average debt burden of 12.6%. The result is brain drain. According to OECD data, 30,000 highly skilled South Koreans moved abroad in 2022. This figure is one of the highest within OECD countries. This exodus represents a significant loss of human capital, which threatens the nation's long term competitiveness. The impact is already being felt in key industries, especially semiconductors, where South Korea has long been a global leader thanks to companies like Samsung and SK Hynix. But with U.S. firms like Nvidia and Micron rapidly expanding, many Korean engineers are being drawn overseas. But not all sectors are being affected equally. To explain how AI is affecting employment in South Korea, the IMF and the Korean Development Institute have divided jobs into two categories: the risk zone and the transformation zone. The risk zone comprises middle class jobs. These include clerks, bookkeepers, and call center reps who do boring, repetitive tasks, which AI is really good at doing. These workers are seeing their jobs disappear, their wages drop, and their skills slowly become obsolete. Shockingly, they make up 27% of the workforce. On the other hand, the transformation zone is a completely different story. It constitutes those jobs that AI can't replace, but can enhance, such as doctors, software developers, and financial analysts. They use AI to speed up research, automate the boring stuff, and focus on what really matters. Their value is going up, not down. They're becoming what some call the AI augmented elite. Many workers in South Korea are feeling anxiety about their future. A cross-national survey shows that people in South Korea exhibit the second highest level of anxiety over their jobs being replaced by technology. What makes things even more complicated is that people are heavily dependent on the very technology they fear. Young workers especially use AI tools more than their peers. About 80% of them say they rely on these tools to get ahead in their careers. But this creates a stressful cycle. They feel they must constantly learn and use these systems just to keep up. At the same time, they worry that the same tools might eventually replace them. Also, young Koreans feel overwhelmed by the sheer number of AI tools they're expected to learn and use. Around 75% have reported this feeling. They say they're stuck in a race to stay useful, a race they're being forced to run on AI's terms. Giants such as LG, CJ, and SK Group use AI bots in hiring. These bots don't read resumes. They watch facial expressions, listen to tone of voice, and analyze word choices. Because of this, a new type of cram school has popped up to help people learn how to perform for these bots, how to smile the right way, speak in the right tone, and say the right words to get past the machine. For many South Koreans, this process feels cold and inhuman. Many feel their future isn't about who they are, but how well they can guess what an algorithm wants. The miracle on the Han was built on the promise of a strong middle class. As that promise fractures, what will South Korea's next chapter look like?